rest of the NFL, where the Lions have had an amazing run the last 2 seasons, but still no Super Bowl trips. They were close 2 years ago. Detroit legend Barry Sanders believes the running game of Gibbs and Montgomery can lead the team to their first Super Bowl appearance.
David Montgomery, he's been a great running back in the NFL for many years. And he just added to that, coming over from the Bears. And you see what Jahmyr Gibbs was able to do last season, really from the time from the last 2 years that he's been here. But I feel like last year was more of a breakout season for him. You would think that if the Super Bowl is in our future, in the near future, then you would think that those two guys would be a big part of it.
Yeah. Good line, good backs, good receiver.
Interesting that a running back hyped 2 running backs. He said nothing about the quarterback who had 4 turnovers in the playoff loss to Washington.
I didn't notice.
Goff 3 picks and a fumble.
Well, Goff is one of the last 3 or 4 pure pocket passers. Cousins, Stafford, Goff, not many. I get
Goff's
25
been to a Super Bowl, though.
Oh, Goff's been to a Super Bowl, yes.
Look at that, 59 years since the Lions were in the Super Bowl. My Jets are on that list. I would guess I'll never see the Jets in the Super Bowl in my lifetime. I don't think they'll get there in the next.
I think Detroit's got a shot to get there.
Detroit's got a way better chance.
Well, I will say this is going to be a big year for Goff. If he stumbles in the playoffs, they'll draft.
He just got a new contract, didn't he?
Well, you know what? He is a good quarterback. You could put Goff. Every year, 8 teams are desperate for a quarterback. Jared Goff on the market would find a job. Geno Smith has gotten multiple opportunities. Jared's better than Geno.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's totally resurrected his career. Baker Mayfield. You get opportunities. Jared Goff on the market would have suitors.
Speaking of Darnold, your Niners last place take yesterday, 49ers fans on the internet were fired up.
All right, we're here to talk about the Lions. Listen, Goff wasn't the problem why you haven't been to the Super Bowl the last couple of years. Was he perfect in that game against Commanders? Obviously, absolutely, positively not. But when he didn't stumble in the NFC Championship game the year before against the 49ers, he's not why they lost. He put them in a position to win. Don't blame Goff. I mean, he was ready to convert those 4th downs and wasn't his fault. So, listen, and it's not interesting that Barry Sanders said this and left out Goff, because of course he's going to say that about Gibbs and Montgomery. Like, what are we saying? Like, that makes sense. Obviously, those are going to be his guys. Those are going to be how he views the NFL world. Like, that makes total sense. It's nothing. It's not like a secret shot at Goff or him kind of accidentally revealing that he doesn't have a lot of confidence behind Goff or something like that. Well, I do think it will be a big year for Goff, because I'm on the record saying this, that I do think that there's a real potential that he slides a bit without Ben Johnson. When you look at the years of him with Ben Johnson compared to with Ben Johnson and Sean McVay compared to the other years, you see him not be as good, which is understandable. When you are a quarterback, you are going to be a better quarterback with the better the coach you have, the better the offensive coach, or the better the offensive coordinator. Like, that's a real thing. Offensive head coaches or offensive coordinators are directly tied with their quarterback. The better they are, the better the quarterback. And I'm not saying that Jared Goff's going to fall off a cliff, but like, it wouldn't surprise me if he takes some more sacks, if he's a little bit worse under pressure, in terms of, completion percentage, touchdowns, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I think that's going to be pretty prominent. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lean on the run game even more so than they have in the past. I could see them really being so much more of a run-centered team. Obviously, they relied on the run plenty, but like, I could see it being even more of a foundation than it has been in the past, especially with, Sonic and Knuckles here, having 2, really great backs there. So I could see them really leaning in on that and making things easier for Goff and a new offensive coordinator, like someone who's taking over the reins. And it's stressful to take over a team that's obviously had a tremendous amount of success, especially offensively. Make no mistake about it, Ben Johnson's shoes are gigantic to fill. You can downplay it all you want, but it's a real thing. Ben Johnson was a special coordinator. He wasn't flawless. He's part of the blame to why they lost, especially last season against the Commanders, which I had already unpacked. But Ben Johnson is still a brilliant offensive mind, and so he will be legitimately missed. So it will be interesting to see how much can a quarterback like Goff overcome some of that and keep this offense tied together, which is why I just think that there will be such a greater emphasis on the run game, which I don't think is a bad thing. And when I said that I think that the Lions could slide a bit or Goff could slide, make no mistake about it. I'm not saying he's going to go from throwing 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions to now 20 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. Like I'm not saying that at all. It's just, might not look as buttoned up as it once was, which is okay. You can still win. It's not like, well, you were a Super Bowl contender before and now you're not. Like, I'm not saying any of that. It's just, I'm really preaching that it's going to look different. How does it look different at the end of the day? And how are they able to execute? There's going to probably be less trick plays, less aggression, less throwing, more running, probably more moments of conservative football. I'm fascinated to see how much they go for it on 4th down. Like, I think this team will evolve, and I think that's important too. It's important to understand that you played this way for a long time. You had a lot of success. Now it's time to evolve. Now it's time to grow. Right now it's time to figure out, how do we get to the next level? How do we get to the next step? Again, I'm not going to make too strong of predictions because I'm just more excited just to watch it unfold, quite frankly. But honestly, I already like the fact that the Detroit Lions aren't really in the headlines, and like, this is as good as the media can get, where it's like Barry Sanders said Gibbs and Montgomery can lead the Lions to a Super Bowl, and it's like, that's news. It's like, if that's news, perfect. Lions are doing great. Great offseason then. Seriously, I really sincerely mean that. It's like, great. You didn't go out and try to make like nonsense splash moves just for the sake of it. You didn't do anything wild and crazy in the draft. You don't have any other random drama concerns. No one's coming out saying bizarre things. It's just like, it's very quiet, not noisy. That's exactly what you want if you're a Detroit Lions fan. So, still think the future is quite bright for them. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions? I'm trying to think of how I'd want to phrase this question, but, I guess, who do you think would be responsible to lead them to a Super Bowl? It's not really one of my favorite questions, but I guess since Barry Sanders put it out there. And do you think the Lions should look for another quarterback if they come up short this coming season? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.